Fox Sports Houston brings you Houston Astros baseball. Today, the Astros wrap up this 9-game homestand, and it could be their best of the season. They meet the Milwaukee Brewers. Good afternoon, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim DeShays. The Astros 5-3 on this homestand. A win today would make it their best. And Chris Johnson's really rolling, JD.
Yeah, how about Chris Johnson? Hits now in 14 consecutive games, closing in on the rookie record. That belongs to Terry Poole. TP hitting 17 straight back in 1977. So watch out, TP. CJ is coming after, and you have to love the at-bats he's having, hitting the ball the other way, hitting it where he's pitched. And, boy, he doesn't get one hit a game. It seems like multi-hit games almost every night. Last night he had 3 hits. The night before, 2 hits, including a home run. Nice to see Chris Johnson really settling in at the big league level.
And coming up, it's former Astro Randy Wolf, who won the first game in this ballpark. And he is opposed by the Astros lefty Wesley Wright as we get the final matchup of this homestand next. By the Progressive Insurance Group. Finale day here of this homestand, and the Astros just finished up a month of July in which they won 13 and lost 11. So they played better than 500 balls since the 1st of June. And it's the Brewers and Astros for the final time in this series. The Astros 5-3 against Milwaukee. The Brewers go with Ricky Weeks at second base. Corey Hart's the right fielder. Prince Fielder plays first base. And Ryan Braun is the cleanup man in left field. He's hit only .234 against southpaws. Casey McGee plays third base with Jim Edmonds in center field. Alcides Escobar is the shortstop. George Kataris does the catching for Randy Wolf.
Well, Wesley Wright making another start here this afternoon. His third start at the big league level this year. Last time out against the Cubs, he was a losing pitcher, worked 5 innings, allowed 8 hits, 4 runs, walked a man, struck out 4. He's made 2 starts, as I mentioned, both of them coming against Chicago. And kind of so-so in both of them, and an opportunity to step up today against this Brewer club that is really struggling, have not scored a run yet in this series. And hopefully Wesley is able to duplicate what the lefties that have preceded him have and Wandy have done. Defensively, it's Lee Bourne and Pence covering the pasture. Johnson, Sanchez, Keppinger, and the newcomer Brett Wallace have the infield covered. Humberto Quintero does the catching.
Wallace hoping for his first major league hit today. He gets the start against the lefty Wolf. He has hit lefties well in the minor leagues. And his mother and some other members of his family will head on to St. Louis for the next series. He said his dad's going to try to get some time off to get there as well. That's a very happy time for the Wallace family. And now for Wesley Wright, a shot at win number 1 of the season as a starter. Ricky Weeks presents an immediate challenge to that. He brings a 7-game hitting streak into this game today and is one of the most effective leadoff men in the major leagues with 22 homers, 67 runs batted in, a .278 average. He has a .378 on base average, and he's hit .419 against the Astros this year.
First 2 games of this series, Weeks and Hart at the top of the order have both reached in the first inning, so they've had first and second, nobody out, and have failed to score both times. And it's, usually you're asking for trouble when you let those 2 guys get on in front of fielder Braun and McGee.
Carlos Lee's going back to shut the bullpen door.
Chastising the Brewers.
Why don't they shut the door themselves?
Raising a barn?
Now everybody's ready with Weeks in the box. And Wesley Wright out for his 3rd start of the season. 3rd major league start for that matter. He delivers strike 1 with Chris Guccione calling the pitches today. Ricky Weeks has 3 hits and 7 at-bats in this series. Wright brings it in. It's a 0-2 count. Jason Castro has caught the first 2 starts for Wesley. Humberto Quintero is behind the plate today with the lefty starting for Milwaukee Wolf.
Ball down at that back foot.
Almost hit him, and it's 1-2.
It's kind of a sweeping, slurvy kind of slider that he throws. Complement his fastball, and also a straight changeup. Changeup he doesn't use very often. It's primarily fastball slider.
He wanted it up, and it's foul back.
I think Wesley Wright can be successful throwing the high fastball. Jay Happ very successful against his club, climbing the ladder with the fastball. Wandy used it effectively as well.
Brad Mills' club has won 4 in a row for the 4th time. Curveball tapped, and there's a good pickup by Chris Johnson. Short hops it to his left and down.
That good hand there by Chris. Didn't have time to get in front of it, so just had to rely on the good hands to make the play. Top spin on that second hop, and he gobbles it up. The Astros have won 4 in a row, all by at least 5 runs. Only the 3rd time in franchise history they've done that. Pitching has been outstanding.
Chris Johnson said the way the pitchers have been so successful, that allows the hitters to relax more. Strike 1 to Corey Hart. Corey Hart at .289.
That was a good-looking changeup right there.
He's way out front.
To me, that's the key for Wesley now. I think, he's not a real hard thrower, but he's got a good enough fastball. He's got a good breaking pitch, and if he can develop that changeup and find consistency with it, that would be the difference for him in whether he establishes himself as a major league starting pitcher.
Hart is 1 for 7 in this series. Not biting on that one, and it's a 2-ball 1-strike count. Like Weeks, he has 22 homers, and he has 3 more runs batted in than Ricky. But he's top 2 in the lineup, and with Hart hitting .340 against lefties, are an immediate challenge for any pitcher right now. That's cranked on a line to left field. Carlos Lee. 2 outs.
Off the bat, I'm sure Corey Hart said that's a double. El Caballo, who plays a very deep left field, able to turn on this one and track it down. Nice play. We'll take that opportunity to see if anybody's hiding behind the scoreboard.
Fritz Fielder is playing in his 291st consecutive game, taking ball 1. 24 homers. He has only 46 runs batted in. Fielder 2 for 8 in this series.
His problem is Weeks and Hart drive each other in or drive themselves in so often.
That's right.
All the home runs they hit at the top of the order, missing out on RBI opportunities.
It's pretty unusual, though, to see a guy who hits third with 24 homers have only 46 driven in, and that's the case. As you see, has 2 of those home runs against the Astros. Fielder, 26 years old. He had a couple of hits in last night's game. Last year he tied for the league lead in runs batted in with 141 while belting 46 long balls. Fouls that one back for a 1-ball, 2-strike count. The Astros and Brett Myers have reached agreement with a contract extension. And it goes through 2013, including a club option for 2013 that could become vested with his 2012 performance. Foul ball comes back. Still 1-2 to Fielder. So Myers is going to be a part of this pitching staff for at least 2 more years, maybe 3.
He's certainly earned it. Very durable, reliable pitcher this year for the Astros. And you look at his game by games, and he's really only had 1 bad start all year.
Guaranteed value for 2 years plus a buyout is $21 million for Myers. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Contract carries through 2013. It would be $28 million for Myers for the 3 years. He also has a little extra money available through performance bonuses. Fielder grounds 1 to second. Jeff Keppinger makes it a 1-2-3 first for Wesley Wright. And the scoreless streak continues for Astros pitchers. 0-0. Jeff Keppinger, second base. Hunter Pence, right field. Carlos Lee, left field. Chris Johnson, third base. Brett Wallace, first base. Humberto Quintero, catcher. Wesley Wright, pitcher. Former Astro Randy Wolf delivers ball 1 to Michael Bourne. 249 for Michael, 1 homer, 25 runs batted in, showing bunt that time. And again, slides the hand up. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count to Michael. Michael's hitting .207 on this homestand. He snapped an 0 for 13 with an RBI double last night. The shortstop, Escobar, positioned for out number 1.
Well, let's take a look at the numbers for the veteran Randy Wolf. 7-9 this year, ERA of 5.07. Those 64 walks lead the National League. He's struck out 87. He's hitting .269 against him. Long ball's been an issue. He's allowed 23 of those, third most in Major League Baseball. So the walks and the home runs, they tend to add up, and that's why the inflated ERA. Good competitor, though. Smart pitcher.
The Wolfman.
Good guy. Keeping with that trend in this series, another lefty who works effectively up in the zone. Got to lay off that high fastball.
Well, Sanchez works the count to 2 balls, no strikes, and saying how much he enjoys batting second, and he's really shown that ability to hit the ball up the middle and to the right of second base. Jeff Kepinger's on deck. Sanchez gets underneath this one, and it's popped up to Ricky Weeks. 2 down.
The Brewers defensively set up this way. Runs and left. Jimmy Edmonds, he's got 8 Gold Gloves at home. He's a center fielder today. Corey Hart's in right. Infield of McGee and Escobar. McGee, boy, he made a couple of sparkling plays last night. Gibson fielder had the right side. Contreras does catching. Jonathan Lucroy off today. Caught the first 2 games of this series. Brewers have had a hard time containing the running game this year.
Jeff Kepinger's gone 5 for 7 in this series. He backs away from it. 292, 5 homers, 36 runs batted in for Jeff with a 1-0 count now.
Keppinger having a nice homestand, hitting 428, 9 out of 21 with a long ball.
He had reached base safely in 8 straight plate appearances until the Brewers finally retired him last night.
Normally a patient hitter. Here is the time to be ready to turn it loose. He's taking all the way, but Wolf made a good pitch on the outside corner.
Wolf first faced the Astros in '99 when he was with the Phillies. He won the first National League game in this ballpark in 2000. And here a decade later, still going with 108 Major League wins, 94 losses for Randy. He'll turn 34 on the 22nd of this month. He's 5-5 against the Astros. Now it's 3-2. He beat Octavio Dotel in that first game here after some exhibition games with the Yankees. The Phillies won it 4-1. Keppinger has really gone berserk on this homestand. 9 for 21 with a homer. The Astros are 3-0 when he's hitting 3rd in the lineup.
Time to renegotiate, Cap.
It's been a tremendous homestand for him, 428. And for the Astros, things have really come together well here at the end of this homestand with the 4 straight wins. Still 3 balls, 2 strikes. Wolf has been up and down this season as the 5.07 ERA would indicate. He beat the Astros in Milwaukee back on May 25th with 7 shutout innings. All 4 hits he allowed were singles, so he was on his game on that occasion. Last time out, got a no decision, giving up 2 runs in 7 innings against Cincinnati on Monday. It's toward right center field. A gapper for Keppinger. Maybe a triple for Keppinger. It's picked up by Jim Edmonds on the track. Keppinger stretches it out. Weeks with a relay throw. Triple for Keppinger. His first of the year.
Why not? Well, because you can't afford to make your 3rd out of third base. That's why not. But he made it, so why not?
Well, it took Edmonds a while to get to it the way the Brewers were playing him.
Now, Hart was shallow and towards the line a little bit. Edmonds has been bothered by some Achilles problems. Looked like he was looking for Hart to come and get it. Keppinger selling out, going hard the whole way. Going off his third base coach, taking that one on his own.
Now with 2 outs, it's Hunter Pence taking strike 1. Hunter on a 7-game hitting streak at 273 with 15 homers. First triple for Keppinger, and Hunter hopes to drive him in to get things rolling. During his 7-game streak, he's gone 13 for 32 for a 406 average.
Well, and again, it's a play that normally you want to be conservative there with 2 outs, and not put yourself in jeopardy being thrown out of third base. But it could prove beneficial. The ball begins to hit that Hunter Pence get. He rolls over on one, hits a ground ball to short. That could be a run that obviously you're not going to score on from second base.
It's 1-2. Wolf with the high fastball. Hunter is 2 for 11 against Randy, including a home run in his career. Randy, a second-round pick of the Phillies in '97 from Canoga Park, California, and then Pepperdine University. And the fastball works for a strikeout to win the Astros first. With no runs, a hit, and a runner stranded at third. No score.
Presented by Minute Maid. For every full-price adult ticket you purchase in the outfield or view deck sections, you can get up to 2 free tickets for kids 14 and under. Kids can also earn rewards for coming to Astros games with the Kids Passport program. Visit Astros.com for tickets. Bill?
Thank you, Patty.
Yeah, I've got a suggestion for Patty.
What's that?
She's been in communication with the Little Pumas out there the last couple of days.
Yes.
And they're trying to figure out a new group, a new name.
Yes.
How about Pence's Pride?
Oh,
like a pride of lions. Pride of lions.
Yeah.
I was so excited about the pencils.
Well, that was good too.
Doesn't really fit with the Puma costume.
Yeah, I know. You're right. I'll present it to him.
Throw that out there.
Ryan Braun grounds to Brett Wallace. One pitch went out here in the second inning. Well, the Wandy's Wands sounded like a promising plan. So you've presented several options to that group, and they seem to be somewhat receptive last night, Patty.
Yeah, I think it's almost too soon. It's like having a baby and then someone asking you, when are you going to have your next one? You just need a little time to sort of regroup.
You need time to mourn a little bit.
Yeah, kind of just get used to a new idea, not going through the pain all over again. It's a little raw.
Did they really ask that?
Do they ask what?
When are you going to have your next one?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I got it literally from my mother within like an hour.
That's ridiculous.
That's what I'm talking about.
Strike one to Casey McGee. They are not there today. They're probably holding a meeting right now in some other area of the ballpark. Yeah, in their lair. And we'll see what they come up with next homestand. That'll give them a week to regroup, and that should be enough time to get over things.
Yeah, they did say they'd be out here regardless. It's just whether we recognize them or not without their suits. I'll have a little trouble tracking them down.
Once they go through the postpartum process, they should be fine. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Casey McGee. And McGee's having quite a year. He's hitting .375 against the Astros, but Wesley Wright just broke off a good breaking ball on him.
And he'll throw another one. A little tighter, a little sharper, ideally. This is a situation where I think Wesley could be effective. After that slow curveball, you get the swing and miss down. Climb the ladder with the heater. He's also, Bert Hooton had him working on a 2-seamer down in Round Rock, trying to get a little sink, trying to get a little tail on the fastball. Now they're coming up.
And he went for it. And whacked it to right field. Hunter Pence back. It works. They're out number 2. Humberto Quintero knows what he's doing back there.
One, I think it fits Wesley's style of pitching, and 2, it seems to be a pretty good way to attack a lot of these Brewer hitters. We've seen it all weekend. And they get ahead of them. They're showing a willingness to chase that high fastball. And I think that kind of goes part and parcel with a team that's struggling a little bit. They've been shut out 2 days in a row now, and there's a tendency for hitters to lose patience. Okay, we've got to do something big, got to hit our way on, and they'll start to chase some bad balls.
Jim Edmonds has had quite a year. Injuries have been a part of it, but when he's been in there, the numbers have been fantastic for Edmonds. 288, 8 homers, 20 runs batted in. That doesn't tell all the story. .510 slugging percentage, .352 on base average for Edmonds. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Jimmy now 40 years of age, turned 40 at the end of June. Not played all last year. He battled injuries the last few years of his career.
1-2. You mentioned the Achilles problems lately, and before that he was on the disabled list in May for 2 weeks with a left oblique strain. But he's robbed quite a bit of playing time from Carlos Gomez in center field.
Gomez is a very talented kid. Really hasn't developed as a ball player. Edmonds is a very good ball player whose body just keeps breaking down on him. So if they could kind of blend the two, they'd have quite a player.
Yeah, they would.
It's nice to see Edmonds come back and perform this well, because so many times there's kind of comeback attempts. Just end up feeling sorry for the guy. He's done, but Edmonds proving that he had a little something left in the tank.
He's 10 homers shy of 400. This one heads for left center field. Michael Bourne heads for it. On a warning track. He handles the third out. That's 6 straight retired by Wesley Wright in a 0-0 game. Dallas Keuchel was promoted to Corpus. Carlos Lee hits the first pitch on the ground, and there's one out here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. And we go back and check out the Astros Farm Report with Jose Altuve hitting .308 with 39 steals at Lexington. Quick look at some of the Astros' top minor leaguers on a Sunday. Now Chris Johnson, who's graduated from those ranks, put together a 14-game hitting streak. And his batting average during the 14 games has been .451. He has 4 homers, 13 runs batted in during the last 14.
I imagine down on the farm, guys getting a little excited as they see the Astros shift directions here at the big league level. A lot of buzz down there. Well, what could be next? What could be the next move?
Yeah.
When am I going to get my chance?
There you go. Well, put up numbers like that and you'll get a chance to stay in a major league lineup. He has been scintillating lately. 1 ball, 2 strikes to CJ. .375 on base average for Chris Johnson. The Brewers have watched him hit .643 against their club this year with a homer and 6 runs batted in.
hitting a cool 500 on the homestand.
And there's a jump throw by Escobar, robbing him of a hit. Tremendous play by Escobar, deep in the hole.
Wow, and not even close at first base. That was pretty impressive. Yeah, he's going to go ahead and look up at the big screen. Why not? Enjoy it, young man. This is one slick play. The range and then the throw. Man, that's pretty.
Got way up in the air. Turned his body.
It's incredible.
That was an amazing play. Now Brett Wallace. Here's strike one to Wallace. 0 for 4 in his major league debut last night. Now facing a lefty after hitting .301 and hitting lefties well for AAA Las Vegas. He had 18 homers there. It's no balls, 2 strikes for Randy Wolf.
Got a nice flat swing that stays in the strike zone a good long while.
Hooks a line drive caught by McGee. 3 up, 3 down for Randy Wolf. It's 0-0 after 2.
Presented by Gallery Furniture, it is available for every Astros home game in 2010. Get a field box ticket near right field, plus a one-of-a-kind 100-pence T-shirt, all for only $30. You can also take advantage of this great offer with a 6-game flex plan. Visit Astros.com to buy yours tonight, Bill.
Thanks, Patty. No score here through a couple. And the Astros scoreless inning streak has reached 28 innings now. As Wesley Wright has retired all 6 men he has faced through the first 2. Back-to-back shutouts Friday and Saturday night for the Astros against the Brewers. That staff ERA has come down. And the starters ERA now a respectable 4.13 for the season. Escobar made that fantastic play on Johnson. Takes strike one. 247 with 2 homers, 27 runs batted in for Alcides Escobar. Be followed by Kataris and Wolf. Lance Berkman grounded out in his first at bat with the Yankees today. He's playing first base. Foul pop, Wallace over, and out of play for him. No balls, 2 strikes.
Just looking back through the scorebook at the last time through the rotation. Myers, 9 inning, 1 run. Norris, 6 innings, 1 run unearned. Happ, 6 scoreless. Wandy last night, 8 scoreless.
1.09 ERA for the last term through for the Astros, and they had the top ERA for all National League starters in the month of July. 2.54 for Wandy Rodriguez and his associates in that starting rotation in July. Poke to the right side. Wallace tosses to right. Well done for the first out. Good quick feed to the pitcher covering.
Well, Wesley working ahead in the count. When you get ahead, hitters tend to expand that ball off to play it away, but Escobar went after it. So a 3-1 put out to get to Speedy Escobar.
Catcher George Kataris comes up next. Kataris seeing his first action of the weekend series. 27 years old from Scarborough, Ontario. There's strike one to the lefty hitter. 205 for Kataris, 8 homers, 22 runs batted in.
He's got the most interesting beard in the world going.
Yeah, he does.
He was a heck of a softball player back in Ontario. Known as a hockey playoff beard. I guess it's kind of a cliche to assume every Canadian plays hockey. You might not care a lick about hockey.
You might not.
Seems more like a curling guy to me.
We'll have to check when we're in Milwaukee next weekend. You're starting to intrigue us. 2 balls and 2 strikes with Randy Wolf on deck. Meanwhile, Wesley Wright, all business in quest of win number 1 of the season. And he gets a swing and a miss and a strikeout of Kataris. He's retired 8 in a row to start this one.
Go sit on the Chesterfield. Yeah, let's look at the breaking ball here. See that one good changeup to Hart. We've seen him try to sink the fastball a little bit. I'm intrigued by Wesley Wright. I hope he gets a number of starts here. I think he's got a chance.
Faces a good hitting pitcher next in Randy Wolf, who has 12 hits and 47 at bats for a .255 average. He has 4 runs batted in. 3 of his 12 hits have been doubles. Wolfie looks at strike 1. Randy, very good competitor.
Pretty good hitter. I don't know what he's doing this year, but he's hitting .255.
Yeah. He scored 7 runs. Kappinger fields the grounder and makes it 9 straight, retired by Wesley Wright. It's 0-0 in the 3rd. By Chevy, by Comcast, and by 5 Hour Energy. That's the lobby of the old Union Station where the trains used to come in. And if you've been around for a while, you may have taken a train from that station many years ago. And it's the way about 40% of the fans usually come into this ballpark through the turnstiles over in that area, but there are entrances, of course, at different corners of the ballpark. And there's the symbol of the train station with Bobby Dynamite getting ready to dance if the Astros do anything good. Alberto Quintero, 229 with 3 homers, has 11 runs batted in. And Q with 5 hits and 9 career at-bats against Randy Wolf, including a long ball.
About 60 years ago, after the game today, we'd be jumping on the train out there and heading to St. Louis.
That's right.
We'd play a little poker on the train.
Yeah.
We'd have a libation, some good food. We'd swap all kinds of stories. Most of them not true.
Sure. Fly ball to center field. Edmonds taking care of out number 1.
Lou Gehrig would take a bite out of Babe Ruth's hat. Cause a big skirmish.
That was an interesting time.
That would have been fun.
I think. Are we taking a train from Philadelphia to New York this year?
I don't know. Last year we bussed.
I've heard that we might take a train this year. I'll have to check that out. He'd like to move that thing, and he will if there's a home run. Wesley Wright is a 111 career hitter. 0 for 5 this season. There is strike 1 to Wesley. He pops it up outside the right field line. Corey Hart will watch it drift back into the seats. No balls, 2 strikes. Jeff Fulcino will be traveling after the game with the Astros to St. Louis after pitching in the minor leagues.
You know, we see a lot of people that bring their gloves to the game. That guy was smarter than most. He wore a helmet. Wesley's a good athlete. He can swing it a little bit.
Fouls that one back.
And a reliever with the Astros for the most part. And since they picked him up in the Rule 5 draft from the Dodgers, and down in the minor leagues, he's a starting pitcher this year. But I don't know how many at-bats he got. I think given a fair number of ABs, he'd be able to help himself a little bit with the stick.
Wolf shaking out the signs of Kataris. And that one's fielded by Fielder and tossed to Wolf. 2 outs. He's a pretty good glove man.
He is a good glove man, and he's pretty quick for a big man, too. And the other thing he does, he plays far off the line.
Yeah.
You know, being a right-handed thrower, he has his glove on the line side, so it allows him to probably play a step or more towards the hole. And we've seen him make a number of plays. And initially, off the bat, that's got a chance to be a knock, and he's right there to gobble it up.
6 straight retired by Wolf after the triple by Keppinger. Now Michael Bourne. He grounded to shortstop earlier. Fielder comes in tight, as does the third baseman McGee, and it's ball 1.
Again, Fielder tight and way off the line, and he turned around to Ricky Weeks basically saying, I've got it. He tries to bunt, I've got it.
Well, it showed bunt, and it's a strike.
It really, to a certain extent, eliminates the drag bunt possibility. Because normally when you drag bunt, you're trying to get it out towards the second baseman.
1-2 to Bourne. Brad Mills explained that he does not want Bourne to be a platoon player. He's going to play against some lefties.
Yeah, even though his numbers are down overall this year, hitting just 249, he's really struggled against lefties, but he's so valuable. You know, if he gets on base for you once in a game with his legs, he's got a chance to make something happen.
That time it's Wolf who makes something happen, and he gets a strikeout looking. Second strikeout for Wolf. 0-0. Brewers and Astros through 3. month of July. Delman Young hit .434. Jose Bautista ripped 11 homers. A-Rod drove in 31. Ricky Nolasco won 5. And Rafael Soriano saved 11. Nothing here. Nobody did it any better than Wesley Wright has done it in the first 3 innings. He has not had a base runner. Ricky Weeks led off the game with a grounded to third.
Well, 38 pitches for Wesley so far, 27 strikes, just 11 out of the zone.
All 1 to Weeks. There's the starters comparison through 3. 3 very quick ones here at Minute Maid Park. It's 2-0 to Weeks. Just the 3rd major league start for Wright. He was recalled from Round Rock July 19th when Brian Moeller went on the disabled list. Brian continues to do better. And he may have thrown today before the game. If not, probably tomorrow. 2 balls and a strike. And 13 starts for Round Rock after going to Winter Ball to work on being a starter. He was 4-0 with a 4.18 this year.
Nice.
2-2.
Man, that outside corner pretty well here this afternoon. Now he's got him set up. He can come in if he wants, go off the fastball, throw a little changeup, or try to sink it a little bit, and then back out there again.
And he comes back to strikeout Weeks. This is getting interesting. Strikeout number 2 for Wesley Wright.
He's pulling off this one just a little bit. Fastball sliding off the outside edge. He was looking for something that he could yank. And again, just the 2 strikes, probably should be more willing to shorten the stroke a little bit and hit it the other way.
Corey Hart looks at it. It's strike 1 to Hart. He lined out to Carlos Lee with a good catch in left field in the first inning. Michael Bourne. 2 outs. Well, the Brewers have really been in the doldrums lately. They've been kind of a hit or miss team offensively this year. They're 4th in the league in runs scored, but they've been shut out 10 times this year, including in back-to-back games in this series. The Astros have not given up a run since the first inning Wednesday against the Cubs. This is their longest consecutive scoreless inning streak since the 05 staff, for 26 straight. Fielder takes, and there's strike 1 to Prince.
Wesley is carving these guys up.
He is.
Handing with the fastball and dropping the hook in there for strike 1.
Fielder fouls it back. No balls, 2 strikes. The Brewers have homered in 16 of their last 19 games. They lead the league in homers. Brett Dolan apparently blew that play over in the Astros radio booth. He's trying to blame it on somebody else, it appears. Now, you could have done that the other night because you had a kid trying to climb up into the booth in front of you.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Got to admire that young man's tenacity.
No such obstacle for Mr. Dolan, though. Fielder cranks it out of play. Still 1-2 to Prince, who's tied for 2nd in the league in home runs with Mark Reynolds with 24. There are some excellent offensive talents in this lineup for Ken Maka today.
With runners in scoring position, we talked about his lack of RBIs despite the 24 home runs. With runners in scoring position, he's only hitting 160-something this year.
That's something else.
But he has a .388 on base percentage. So they were very cautious with him in those RBI opportunities. So he's drawing a ton of walks, and then he probably gets frustrated and goes out of the zone, and that's why the low batting average in those situations.
Leads the league in walks, and he's 4th in on base average, .397. There's that 168 figure with men in scoring position. The Brewers are 0 for their last 21 with runners in scoring position.
Prince generally hangs in there pretty well against left-handed pitching. He certainly has in this at-bat, fighting off some tough pitches. Ken Maka, successful as a manager for the Oakland A's, moving on to Milwaukee. Lifetime .542 winning percentage. Does not have a contract in place for next season, so he's kind of a lame duck.
Well, usually if you get to this point of the season and the manager in the final year of his contract has not received a contract extension, there's a thought that pretty good chance he will not be back. Fielder's down on strikes. 4 perfect innings for Wesley Wright in a scoreless game.
Bring your team, church group, or family here to Minute Maid Park for your next outing. All it takes is 20 or more people to enjoy discount pricing on tickets. For more information, call 1-800-ASTROS-2 and ask about fundraising opportunities. Phil?
Thanks, Patty. Angel Sanchez at the plate. He got a curveball there from Randy Wolf for ball 1. The count is 1-1 in a scoreless game. Bottom of the 4th inning. Sanchez on a 2-0 count. Top of 2nd in the 1st inning. Just one hit in this ball game, a Keppinger triple. That bunt try is fouled, and it's 1-2.
Straight of a rally cap. There you go. Oh yeah, that's the Junction Jack balloon ears they got working.
Oh, up the middle and a single for Sanchez. That's what he's been doing for the last few weeks. He's laying claim to that shortstop job while Tommy Manzella is out.
He picks on a high fastball here and shoots it right back through the middle. Talking with Ed Wade last night, I asked him about that very thing. What do you think about Sanchez in regards to Tommy Manzella? When Tommy comes back, and he said, well, Tommy's going to get every opportunity to play when he comes back, but they're not going to dismiss what they've seen from Angel Sanchez. He'll be in the mix, and Ed really likes what he's seen of Sanchez. And it was kind of an interesting deal because the Red Sox were desperate for a catcher, and they called for Kevin Cash, and Ed said, I really can't give you Kevin Cash. I have no depth. I've got nobody down at AAA in case we have somebody hurt. And then Theo Epstein called him back apparently a couple days later, said, are you sure? Is there anything you can do? And Ed said, well, we need some protection at shortstop. I need a guy who can catch the ball a little bit. And the Red Sox offered a couple of guys, and I said, I don't really like those guys. And then they came back with Sanchez, and I didn't know much about him. And he said, all right, guess got to report on him that he's a pretty good fielder. So they took a flyer on him, and he's been very good.
He really has been amazing. 1 ball, 1 strike to Keppinger, who tripled in the first inning. We were talking about that train. Got a text that my mother-in-law, Betty Dugan, took the train from St. Louis to Houston and then on to Galveston about 70 years ago.
There you go.
We run into people from time to time who said, "Oh yeah, I went to the train station there, made some trips." You ever taken the train on a family vacation?
No, taking the train. I took Amtrak one time into the city, into New York from Albany, and I took the train one time when I was pitching from a little town. We had an off day, so I went to my hometown in northern New York, and then took the train from Cornwall, Ontario, into Montreal. The day of the game. That was kind of fun.
Keppinger with a double play ball. Escobar shovels, weaks the middleman. 6-4-3. Pitcher's day so far here at Minute Maid Park.
Just 2 hits total in the ball game. Pitcher's doing a real nice job throwing a lot of strikes. The routine double play there turned by the Brewers.
Hunter Pence struck out with a runner at third to end the first inning. This fly ball heads for left field. Ryan Braun heads for the wall, feeling for the wall for the third out. And through 4. It's Brewers nothing, Astros nothing. Brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers, by AT&T, and by Gullo Automotive. Quite a duel here as they prepare the ingredients for that treat. It is a treat for fans of pitching. It's 0-0 through 4, only 2 hits in the ball game. They both belong to the Astros. Wesley Wright has retired all 12 men he's faced. Ryan Braun is the man who's facing him right now in the 5th inning. Braun takes strike 1. Braun was hit by a pitch on the left elbow in mid-May. And there are some who do not think he has been the same hitter since then. He was drilled by Tommy Hanson of the Braves. Very painful hit batsman right near the tip of the left elbow. And he hits that one into right field to become the first base runner for the Brewers today. Reaching for Casey McGee, who flied to right.
Had some success with that high fastball today. That time Braun able to get to it. Braun quicker than most with that bat. Able to get on top of that high heater.
Happy 77th birthday to Anna Powell today. She was supposed to be at the game, but things didn't work out. Got a note from Bobby Long. Her son. Foul back, and Casey McGee's behind 0-1 in the count. So they're watching, and the Astros very important to them. So hopefully they will make it out again soon.
Enjoy your day. Stay in the air conditioning. It's too hot to go outdoors.
Is St. Louis equally hot, or have you checked?
I think Tuesday, I think it's supposed to be 100.
Oh, good. Yeah. Always love that century mark when we go to St. Louis.
Yeah. And then back in the day when they used to play on AstroTurf, it was just miserable. Not so bad anymore, but 100 is still 100. It's still ugly.
I always remember the game Craig Biggio had heat exhaustion there on the artificial turf. What a brutal day that was. It was an afternoon game. Temperature on the turf was probably about 127 degrees. McGee is caught looking. Strikeout number 4. As we check the foul ball play in the stands.
Oh, man, give up the body.
Clean up, aisle 7.
That is a serious play.
Surround them with applaud. They appreciate the effort. And even better, look at that. He's going to hand it to the kid. This guy. He is money.
Mr. Everything. Jim Edmonds hit a fly ball to center in the second inning. Cranks this one, and Michael Bourne is backing on it. Back to the 404 sign right in front of it for the second out.
And really, this string of good pitching really could prove beneficial heading into St. Louis, because the bullpen well rested. You get into the series in that kind of heat. It's difficult to expect your starters to pitch deep into the game. I'm not sure how it's going to play out. It might not be quite as ugly as I'm anticipating. But the last time I checked, yeah, they're calling for a high of 94 tomorrow, high of 99 on Tuesday, and a high of 97 on Wednesday.
You could probably leave the sweater out of your suitcase for that trip.
Yeah. I think I'll shave my head for that one.
I might join you. Escobar the bat.
You should, Brownie. Little solidarity up here, man.
Sounds like a plan, pal. When it gets that hot, you just shed everything you can shed legally. Tank tops sound good to you?
Yeah, I'll be wearing shorts. Stuck dumping my feet in the barrel of ice water.
Yeah. That game, Craig Biggio had the heat exhaustion. Somebody hit him a 2-hop ground ball, and he missed it. And, we couldn't figure out how in the world he could miss a routine 2-hop ground ball until we found out after the game. He was trying to decide which of 3 baseballs coming toward him that he should field because of the heat exhaustion.
He starts crawling across the infield, heading towards the oasis. You know things have gotten a little rough.
Looking for a camel. 1-1 the count.
See, right, keeping an eye on Ryan Braun over there with good reason. Braun capable of stealing a bag.
He takes off. Big jump. Fly ball to center field. Hunter Pence for the third out. No runs, a hit. A man stranded. Beautiful through 5. Wesley Wright is in a duel with Randy Wolf with no score.
Wednesday for a special ticket offer. The What a Steal Pack is a great 3-game package with games versus the Mets, Dodgers, and Cubs. Plus, you get a bonus ticket to the Astros Cards game on August 30th and a chance for behind-the-scenes tour of a Fox Sports Houston telecast. Remember to watch Wednesday for all the details on Fox Sports Houston, your home for Astros baseball. Bill?
Thanks, Patty. Carlos Lee, the batter. And he takes the ball from Randy Wolf to even the count at 1-1. He hit the first pitch on the ground to shortstop in the second inning. No score. 2 hits for the Astros, 1 for the Brewers. And Wolf misses there to make it a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Lee's a .222 hitter against Wolf. And it's foul back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Wolf was 11-7 with the Dodgers last year. His ERA was 3.23, and he worked 214 innings for them. He was an all-star in 03, going 16-10 with the Phillies. Looping fly ball hit to left center field for Carlos Lee, hit number 3 for the Astros. And the second time in a row, they've placed the leadoff man on base in an inning.
Randy Wolf likes to try to cut his fastball in on right-handed hitters, and that one was up in the zone a little bit. Carlos didn't smash it, but fight it off and get a base hit. And just prior to the pitch, Randy Wolf motioning with his head to his catcher guitarist, nodded in, I want to go inside. And as a pitcher, I can understand do that. We see pitchers do it all the time now. They nod, they talk, they verbalize because they're in a hurry and they don't want to have to go through signs. But you got to be careful because if the hitter's looking at you, he's got a pretty good idea what's coming.
Chris Johnson takes strike 1. He was robbed by an Escobar. Brilliant play in the second inning. A
curveball loop in there on our Texas Energy Fox tracks.
Johnson takes, and it's 1-1 to CJ, whose current 14-game hitting streak is the longest by an Astro this season. Leo Lugo, the last Astro rookie to have a 14-game streak. That was in 2000. Lance Berkman is 0 for 2 for the Yankees today.
A looping breaking ball so far, and then the fastball in. Trying to slow down the bat with the slow curveball and then run the heater in on the hands.
Now 2-1.
One thing about Chris Johnson, he hasn't drawn a lot of walks, but it's not like he's up there hacking. Gives you a pretty good at bat.
Line to third. McGee throws to first. Carlos Lee back. So Johnson hitting in tough luck today. Has hit 2 balls on the screws, and he's 0 for 2.
Got to have a little luck to keep a hitting streak alive. Good swings. Just nothing to show for it. A little bit of a double clutch there by McGee may have cost him his opportunity to get El Caballo. All right, first big league knock coming right here.
For Brent Wallace. He lined to third on an 0-2 pitch in the second inning.
Got a quick thought. I talked last time about his flat swing. He's been a good high average hitter everywhere he's gone. You think about guys like George Brett, Rod Carew, Lance Berkman, how their bat stayed in the strike zone for a long time. Their swing path.
Mother Patricia here again.
I think there's a prayers going on.
I know it. 1-2 is Mom Patricia. Of course, they grew up, mom and dad, family, watching Brett play at all the different levels. And there's his brother on the left, so it's a special time for them. But they're kind of used to the handling, watching him play at different levels with pressure on him. Foul back, 1-2.
There's nothing quite like the big leagues, but it helps. He came out of a big-time college program at Arizona State, led the College World Series, first-round draft pick, so that comes with a certain amount of pressure and attention. So he's lived with this for a little bit. Still, we talked about it last night after the game. There's something special about that first trip to the big leagues.
Thought he would be more relaxed today. Brad Mills talked about Brett Wallace's first at-bat last night. He struck out against Dave Bush in the first inning. He took 2 strikes. He said he looked really good taking those 2 strikes. And then that curveball kind of took him out of his game plan. He's been the Halliday, and the Oswalt trades. And this could be his first major league hit, and it is for Brett Wallace. Carlos Lee didn't want to be forced at second, which would have cost him a hit. And that's what Ryan Braun tried to do. First major league hit for Brett Wallace.
And the prayers pay off. There's a happy mom and a relieved young hitter. Trying not to smile. That's ho hum. This is what I do. And again, that's a great example of what we're talking about. He was out on his front foot, but the swing path, staying in the zone with the bat, allows him to get to that ball. There we go. It's good stuff.
Happy, happy time for the Wallace family. Now he broke the ice, and he also gets Quintero to the plate with 2 men on and 1 out. Hugh hit a fly ball to center earlier. It's always good to see a young hitter get that first hit early in his career. Quintero taking ball 1. The appeal went down to first. Brian Onora thought he did not swing.
Billy Mays, when he first came up, 0 for 21 or something like that. Mike Schmidt got off to a terrible start.
Yeah, that can really become an issue for a young player. Trying to get that first hit. He got it with 2 strikes in the count. Pretty good balance on that swing, down on a 1-2 count. Brad Mills wants to see a little bit more. 4 hits so far for his club. Astros banged out a dozen hits last night in a 6-0 win.
The irony is that the ball that was really hit well in this inning was an out. 2 base hits, fairly soft.
Yep. 1 and 2. Lance Berkman is batting second for the Yankees. He's playing first base. He's 0 for 2 against James Shields of Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay leads it 3-0. Mark Teixeira is DHing today. And Austin Kearns is in the lineup as well. 3-0 Tampa Bay through 4. Quintero's down on strikes. A big out for Wolf. 3rd strikeout.
When Brandon Wolf wore an Astro uniform, he pitched well for the Astros, and we've seen him very good over the years. You look at his numbers this year, boy, he's really struggling, 5.07 ERA, but today he's been awfully good. He was admonishing himself. I can't believe he went after that pitch.
Wesley Wright will try to get on the scoreboard for the Astros. He grounded out from fielder to Wolf covering. And there's strike 1. Slow curve. Dodgers are at San Francisco tonight. Kershaw versus Kane. No balls, 2 strikes. Cubs are just getting underway at Colorado against Jorge De La Rosa. Pittsburgh and St. Louis are tied 1-1. They've played 3.5 in St. Louis with Zach Duke on the hill for the Pirates. And Wainwright going for the Cardinals.
The Astros will get Jake Westbrook in the series opener tomorrow in St. Louis, newly acquired by the Cardinals. And Jaime Garcia will work the Tuesday game. We haven't seen him yet, the young phenom. And Chris Carpenter will work the finale for St. Louis. Myers, Norris, and Happ for the Astros.
Big curve. Gets a strikeout for Randy Wolf. That's number 4. It's no runs, 2 hits, 2 men left. And it's 0-0. Brett Wallace gets his first major league hit on a breaking pitch away on a 1-2 count. He gets it up in the air over shortstop and a single to left center field. The Coors Light Freeze Cam brought to you by the Frost Brew of Coors Light. Trisha Wallace, Brett's brother, and the others there applauding the first major league hit after he had gone 0 for 5 to start his career.
Yeah, I don't think the guy selling the lemonade there, frozen lemonade, whatever he was selling, I don't think he realized that that was the player's mom there. He's thought, what's all the excitement? Just a little base hit.
George Kataris steps up as inning number 6 starts. Kataris struck out on a 2-2 count back in the third. 0-1 for Wesley Wright. The Astros bullpen is well rested.
Hey.
2-0 for Chris Guccione, the home plate umpire.
Not even close. I was wrong. Sorry, Chris. Missed the first one, though.
Sanchez calling behind Johnson. And on the foul pop, it's out number 1. Patty Smith has something for us. Patty?
I do have something for you. In fact, I have Morgan Keppinger, who's in charge of the annual Wives Gala this year, coming up on August 12th. And Morgan, I know this is a big deal for you guys. Tell us a little bit about what's in store for us.
Well, it's the 21st year. It was started by Patty Biggio about 20 years ago, and it's just led into something astronomical. None of us could have imagined what it's led into. We have an actual facility where we can house women and children domestically and sexually abused. We can take them up to 3 months, help them get their life skills back, whether it be computer work, just teaching them how to get back in the community, how to take care of themselves, how to take care of their children. Our annual gala on the 12th, like you stated, all the proceeds go straight to the Houston Area Women's Center. They also have a counseling center that's a few miles from here where they on-go counseling. It's just not a bump in the road. You stop in, say hi. They take care of these women for years to come and make sure their future is bright and healthy for their kids.
So can anyone come to this? Corporate sponsors, who can come to the gala? Where is it? Tell us a little bit about the event itself.
All right. Anyone can come. We have a lot of corporate sponsors that buy some of the tables, but we also have some individuals. We have our sponsorship tables start at $5,000, Patty, and go all the way up to $25,000. Depending on what order you come in, you get to pick a player and their wife or their date for the evening to sit with and just have a good time. It's you don't get to kick back with the guys every day and get to hang out with them. But also it's open to the general public, $500 a head. So surprise your husband or your wife if they're big Astros fans. Get them dressed up and don't tell them where they're going. It's down on the field, which is just an experience in itself. Not many people get to step on that field. It's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Starts at 6 p.m. that evening.
Okay, and information, I believe we've got a graphic up showing it right now, but where can they get tickets? What can they do? What's the next step?
All right, you can call the Astros directly, astros.com, or you can contact Judy Nichols. I believe her information is up online. She does all the PR between the Astros and facilitating the Astros field and the event and the Wives Gala.
All right, well, I'm sure you guys will do a spectacular job. You and Heather Burdack heading it up. I know that's been a lot of fun for you as well.
Absolutely.
All right, you guys have fun, guys.
Thanks, Patty. Fly ball. Ricky Weeks hits it to right field. Hunter Pence is over, preparing for a throw to third base. Here's the tag by Wolf. And Randy moves over to third on out number 2. Hit pretty deep by Weeks. Wolf had the double. Close call there at first base for Brian Onora on the Wolf double. And then a fan reached over and interfered in foul territory down the right field line.
So Randy Wolf becomes the first Brewer in scoring position, and now with his fly ball to right, works his way over to third base with 2 outs.
Corey Hart is 0 for 2 and line to left his first time up.
And he's probably had the best swings of any of the Brewers here today.
Well, the Brewers now have been shut out for 28 consecutive innings overall. In the process, 0 for 21 with runners in scoring position, 0 for 18 this series. Hart with 70 runs batted in takes ball 1. Earlier this year, the Brewers did not score for 24 straight innings back in late April, early May. Driven to right field, Hunter Pence way back. Opposite field, 2-run homer, Corey Hart. 2-0 Milwaukee. His Hart cranks his 23rd, giving him 72 runs batted in.
Great example of what we're talking about earlier, why the RBI numbers are down for Fielder when you got Weeks and Hart in front of you hitting all the home runs that they hit. You need a lot of bases empty situations for the big fella. It's a lot of thunder at the top of the order. 45 home runs combined now for Weeks and Hart as Corey Hart drives this fastball the other way. Wesley staying away. He's been very effective with that outside fastball today. That time Hart wise to it, went out and just stayed on it instead of trying to pull it. Long and strong is Corey Hart.
Brewers lead the league. That's their 133rd long ball. And it's 2-0 with Fielder batting. 1-1. Second career long ball for Hart off right. Connected off Wesley in Milwaukee in the 08 season. The 31 inning scoreless streak for the Astros pitchers tied for second longest in the majors this year. Mets had a 35 inning scoreless streak earlier this year. It's the longest for the Astros since '97 in terms of consecutive shutout innings. Two balls, two strikes.
Key here for Wesley, just don't get unnerved. It was one pitch. Still having a heck of a game. You just have to have confidence that the boys are going to score some runs for you.
Fielder works the count full. Wesley had pitched 14 times in relief against this Milwaukee club with an 0-1 record, a 3.09 ERA, but this is the first time he's pitched more than 3 innings in one game against them. Bouncer over the mound, up the middle, backhanded Keppinger, off balance throw, safe. Guccione's had a couple of close calls to make at first base in this inning.
Randy Wolf's double just clipped the back corner of the bag, it appeared, and now this bang-bang play at first. Keppinger trying to make the play on Fielder.
Out would have been a better call. Infield hit for Fielder. Very close.
I would have accepted out and argued that one.
Especially if you were pitching. Ryan Braun is 1 for 2.
Well, Prince, obviously, his dad, Cecil, big-time slugger in the major leagues. That's where he inherited the power. The speed comes from Mom. Mom was a sprinter.
Three hits in the inning for the Brewers.
When I say speed, I mean the ability to run well for such a big man.
Yeah.
I call him the speed demon by any means.
Isn't that ironic, because Fielder's mom was a sprinter. Braun's mom was a brewer. She worked in a brewery.
Yeah.
Braun singled to right in the 5th inning after Wesley Wright had retired the first 12 batters in this game. Cleveland 5, Toronto 4. They've played 7 in Toronto. Jose Bautista's at it again. He hit number 32 for the Jays. Goal number 15. Pick up out of the dirt by Quintero. Yunel Escobar hit his 3rd. He's giving the Blue Jays some good swings.
Yeah, he couldn't hit a lick for the Braves this year. He got traded to Toronto, and I think he hit a home run in his very first game.
Yeah.
He's been swinging very well.
Arizona's unloading at New York. 9-1 Arizona over the Mets in the 7th inning. Adam LaRoche has hit a couple to give him 16 home runs. Scott Drew hit his 5th. That's line foul. Stephen Drew, rather. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cincinnati is up on Atlanta 2-1. They're in the bottom of the 7th inning in Cincinnati. Alex Gonzalez hit number 18 for the Braves.
Guy jumped on Edison Volquez. I think that's Gonzalez's first home run in an Atlanta uniform.
Should be right. Yeah.
See, early in the game, it seemed like pitchers were getting some calls out there. Things have tightened up a little bit.
Takes the walk. A little bit of everything in this inning. Double, homer, infield hit, and walk for the Brewers. Brad Bell's hoping it ends right there with McGee coming up next.
And this, when Wesley went to winter ball last year to work towards becoming a starting pitcher, the plan was to kind of develop a changeup, and that's where that pitch would really help him at this stage of the game. He threw that one good one earlier in the game to Corey Hart. He may have thrown a couple more, but see if he has. I haven't really noticed it. And I think that's where it would really pay dividends as he's facing these hitters for the third time. He's a big league pitcher. When you face hitters for 3 and 4 times in a game, it's very difficult to get by with 2 pitches. You need that third option. Unless you throw 95 or you got great movement on your fastball, that's a different animal. I think most guys that are average velocity, good breaking ball, they still need that third weapon.
83 pitches for Wesley. He's done very well so far. He made the last out of the 5th inning. Nobody warming up at the moment in the Astros bullpen as McGee steps up. He's 0 for 2. Ball 1 to McGee. A lot of McGee's production came in the first half of the season. He had 12 homers and drove in 50 runs in his first 66 games. In his last 34 games, he has 2 homers and 8 RBI. 2 balls, no strikes to Casey McGee. Washington leads Philadelphia 4-2. The Nationals are going for a sweep of that weekend series. They've played 6, and Adam Dunn hit his 25th homer. Out of the 3rd. Johnson the 2nd to Keppinger for the force on Braun. The Brewers pick up 2 on 3 hits. They strand 2. 2-0 Milwaukee in the 6th. For their support of Barbers Hill Little League. For more information on Chevy's commitment to youth baseball, visit ChevyTexasBaseball.com. There's a single to left field by Michael Bourne. A pop fly over the infield and in front of Ryan Braun. And Bourne is on to lead off the Astros 6th inning. He's 1 for 3 now in this game.
The Astros had at the beginnings of a good inning. Last inning had a couple of men on with 1 out, but it fizzled. Q and Wesley punched out down the inning. Now you get a little something going at the top of the order. Just a little flare here into shallow left field, but it'll get the job done.
Hit number 5 for Houston. Sanchez to the plate. He grounded one into center field for a single. 1 for 2. He looks at strike 1 with Keppinger on deck. Brewers got the 2-run opposite field homer from Hart. Now the Astros try to answer in the 6th inning. Wolf has thrown 69 pitches. Bourne with 32 steals as the league leader. He's been caught 8 times. Guitarist has thrown out 3 of 38. Randy Wolf has limited the attempts against him to 12.
A lot of base runners just shut it down with a lefty on the mound.
Sanchez shortened up in the bat that time. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Dave Clark giving signs. George Guitarist giving signs to Randy Wolf with Keppinger waiting. Jeff Plum played 5 innings last night at Corpus Christi. Got a couple of at-bats in the game on an injury rehab assignment. And the plan is for him to play 9 innings in 2 games now before returning to the Astros. Clark, he was something last night on Michael Bourne's RBI double to left center with Johnson scoring and Castro stopping at third. Double play ball here. Low throw from McGee. Weeks handles it, gets it onto a stretching fielder for a double play.
Well, the big difference maker in that whole scenario is the fact that Randy Wolf left-handed on the mound. Michael Bourne never felt comfortable trying to steal the base, and that keeps the double play in order. And although not the smoothest of double plays, they're able to get it done. When you look at Guitarist's numbers, if there's a right-hander on the mound, Michael Bourne is going to try to steal pretty early, I would think.
Jeff Keppinger tripled in the first. Calls it back, and then he bounced into a double play.
Randy Wolf, much more a fly ball pitcher than a ground ball pitcher, but he's got 2 big ground ball double plays today.
Sure does.
Racing leadoff knocks.
Astros have placed the leadoff man on 3 innings in a row on hits. Those double plays have neutralized their attack. 1-1 with Hunter Pence on deck.
Hey, Lance got a knock.
Did he?
He's 1 for 3. Yep.
Fly ball to center. Edmonds takes care of out number 3. And through 6, it's 2-0 Brewers.
Cancer history, August 1st, 1973. Big JR reports his first big league shutout against the Dodgers. 5-zip the final score. Dodgers manages 5 hits. JR punches out 9. He struck out 15 in his major league debut.
Yeah, he was a Dodger killer. 2-0 Wesley Wright on the losing end so far. Here's the 7th inning for him, and it's Jim Edmonds to start it. Edmonds 0 for 2, 2 fly balls to center field. Escobar and Kataris to follow. Strike for Wright. Wilson Lopez is throwing in the Astros bullpen. Wright's at 87 pitches for the game. Edmonds fouls it away.
Yeah, Richard, 107 wins, 71 losses with a 3.15 ERA in his Astros career. Back-to-back 300 strikeout seasons, 78 and 79.
That's incredible. Edmonds with a tap. It's out number 1. On this date, AT&T Trivia has a question for us about this date in 1975. Billy Martin became the Yankees manager. Who did he replace? I have a guess, but let's hold off on that so everybody can take part.
Probably Billy Martin. Like George was over there back in the day. I heard him 4 different times, I think.
Yeah. Escobar is the batter. He's 0 for 2. A ground out and a fly ball. There's ball 1. I'm going to say Bill Verdon.
Bob Lemon. Be a guy that.
Strike makes it 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, was that Billy's first assignment in New York? I'm trying to think of the timing of that.
Probably was. Yeah.
Ralph Houck, when did he finish up there?
He was gone well before then.
Ralph just passed away recently. The Yankee family been hit hard here. Steinbrenner and Bob Shepard, the long-time PA voice, and then Ralph Houck.
How's Yogi doing? Any word on him?
I haven't heard anything other than he took that fall. I haven't heard anything beyond that.
He broke his nose. He's in the hospital. I heard he had a broken foot. Not too sure about that. Still a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Yogi's how old now? Mid-80s?
Yeah, I think they said 85.
Yeah. That's right. Check swing call. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Colorado got 2 in the bottom of the first against the Chicago Cubs and leads 2-0 after 1. Friday night, the Rockies riddled the Cubs pitching staff with 11 straight hits in the inning. I think they scored 12 runs in the inning. But that little fella doesn't really care much because he's unhappy.
There's no crying in baseball, remember. We've got debate over who's going to get this foul ball.
Yeah.
He's going to have to break out the fairness doctrine. Oh, now we're laughing. There we go.
Well, Johnny, there we go. You can have a Johnny on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And your brother will have to take it on the other days of the week. Or we could cut it in half. Or we could hope that we'll get another one. There's a strikeout looking. It's number 5. Let's see what the answer was to the successor, or the man who preceded Billy Martin in 1975. Who was that manager? AT&T will tell us.
There you go, Brownie.
Over.
You're having a big second half.
And Bill.
You're going to make the end of the year trivia all-star team.
You've got to put together that salary drive, JD, this time of year. It's very important. George Kataris is 0 for 2. And there's strike 1. Very soft swing that time from Kataris. And then Bill came here to manage the Astros. And it was nice to have a visit on the Astros Live pregame show with Tal Smith, who, of course, was working as the GM when Bill was here. 0-2. And Tal was reminding me, when he was president of the Yankees, he said there's just all this tradition. We were talking about Lance going to New York, and he said it's around you. You can't help but think about it. It's just a real energizer when you go to the park every day. But I'd forgotten the When Tao was with the Yankees, they were playing at Shea Stadium because Yankee Stadium was being remodeled. That was around 73, 74.
Well, there was a stretch there, mid-60s to early 70s, where the Yankees were really bad. And Steinbrenner took over and started to pump money into the program, and they took off.
Here's a little trivia question. Who was the owner, or what corporate entity was the owner before George Steinbrenner bought the team? Although he didn't pay much of his own money.
CBS, wasn't it?
Yep, CBS.
And then when George had the club, John McMullen was one of the minority owners there. And John famously said there's nothing quite like being the minority, nothing more minority than being the minority owner under George Steinbrenner, or something to that effect.
Yeah. He was right about that. Carlos Silva lasted 1/3 of an inning for the Cubs today in Colorado. He's had a few of those very brief starts. Gutierrez is caught looking. Strikeout number 6 for Wesley Wright. He's had a very good 7 innings, but the Brewers lead the Astros 2-0 as the fans get ready to stand. Energy Insight is brought to you by Centerpoint Energy. Wesley Wright has pitched a career-high 7 innings. Corey Hart hit a 2-run homer off him in the 6th. The Astros are 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position, and the Brewers lead it 2-0.
The Astros just haven't had many chances. 2-out triple by Jeff Keppinger in the first. And 3 leadoff singles, 2 of them quickly erased by double play balls. Ouch!
Wolf takes a liner, and he's hurt. Hunter Pence reaches on an infield hit, but Wolf quickly got rid of the glove, and he is hurting. It's the left wrist area, it would appear, on the line drive right back through the box by Hunter Pence. That's an 8-game hitting streak for Hunter Pence, but he's now concerned about Randy Wolf.
He's coming off the field, he's done. The ball gets back on you so quickly, and he can't get leather there, and he's got his pitching hand in harm's way.
Starting to swell. We'll get some ice on it immediately. Now, what a tough turn of events for the former Astro, and here's one more look at it.
And Hunter's so strong, with just a flick of the wrist, the ball explodes off his bat. Just fortunate that one wasn't up around the head. I mean, as a pitcher, your pitching arm is your livelihood, but you've seen a couple guys get whacked in.
Viewing party on Friday. It's at Buffalo Wild Wings on Washington. All kinds of fun stuff going on there. Prizes to be given away. In fact, I will be there as well, so I encourage everyone to come on out. That's Buffalo Wild Wings this Friday, starting at 6:30 till 9 o'clock. Hope to see you out there, Bill.
Well, if you're going to be there, there'll be thousands and thousands of people there, Patty.
Well, one would think.
Yeah.
One would think.
Always. Because every time you go to Buffalo Wild Wings, that's the case, isn't it?
Yes. Well, I'd like to think I'm going to bring in a few more people than just the average fans.
Always. Always. Cameron Lowe, the former Texas Ranger, will get all the warm-up time he needs because of the injury to Randy Wolf. He's 1-1. His ERA is 1.97.
Yeah, returned stateside for Cameron Lowe. Spent last year pitching in Japan. As Brownie mentioned, he came up with the Rangers. First broke in at the age of 22 in 2004. Big, tall, righty, 6'7". And having a real nice year with that .97 ERA. He's allowed just 23 hits in 32 innings. He's ready to go.
From Simi Valley, California, and that's very close to where Randy Wolf grew up. And he went to Cal State Northridge in that area. Cameron, a 20th round pick of the Rangers in 2002. 6'8". And he faces Carlos Lee, who's 1 for 2. Lowe got a hold against the Astros in Milwaukee June 29th. He went an inning and a third, gave up 1 hit, no runs, in a 7-4 game.
He's got a pet snake that's taller than he is.
What? You know
named Angel.
Angel, that's right. And we're talking about the pet boa constrictor of the Dodgers players. They named Larry. 36 homers allowed by the bullpen of the Milwaukee Brewers. That one floats up there for a 2-ball, no strike count with Zach Braddock, a lefty, throwing down the bullpen. So now that this injury has happened to Randy Wolf, Brewers are reacting quickly. And with their 5.02 ERA for the bullpen, they've had to react to a lot of problems this year.
And time of the game where the guys in the pen were starting to stretch a little bit anyway, anticipating a potential call. Trying to preserve a 2-0 lead in the late innings on the road. Things get a little anxious out in the bullpen.
Now 3-0. Chris Johnson's on deck. And ball 4 almost hit him. A 4-pitch walk. And it almost looks as if Lowe didn't take up enough time to warm up.
That's exactly what I think. It doesn't look like he's ready to pitch.
Patty Smith is ready for her pitch. Patty?
Yes, well, actually, Brandon is my progressive player of the game. I've got no pitch. I just have to recognize this kid because he is our progressive fan of the game. Not only did he catch a foul ball off Humberto Quintero a couple innings ago, he made a diving catch on the ball. Then he turned around, handed it to a fan above and beyond the call of duty. Brandon, congratulations. You're a progressive fan of the game, and you truly are an Astros fan, aren't you?
Thank you very much. I enjoy coming here each and every weekend that I make it down here. I love coming here and watch my boys. I just hope we can come through with a better season and hopefully, pull something out.
Now, Brandon drives out here, as he said, every weekend because he comes here from Austin, doesn't even live in Houston, and your goal is to lose your voice every game?
Absolutely, at least by the 3rd or 4th inning.
And you seem like you've done just about that. You're a little hoarse right now.
I have. I'll go home and not talk a word for a couple of days.
All right, well, I'm going to leave you with your hollering here, but before I go, I'm going to present you with our progressive fan of the game bag. Thanks so much, and you keep making those diving plays.
Thank you very much.
Stay hoarse, my friend. Cameron Lowe throws ball 1 to Chris Johnson. Thank you, Patty. Yeah, that's a big thing.
Passion there.
Wow. Driving from out of town to see all these games every weekend, and then he's speechless for 2 days. Ball 1 to CJ. CJ's been robbed twice. Well, he was robbed in the 2nd inning. He lined out in the 5th. And Lowe still struggling to throw strikes. He's thrown 6 straight balls since entering the game for the injured Randy Wolf.
So here's the challenge now. Wild, do you take one here, or do you think he just have to make a mistake in the zone?
Yeah.
I got the hottest hitter on the club up there. Yanking in the seats. We got a lead.
Sit on a fastball.
Put it in a box.
It wasn't there, and it's ball 3. CJ, as you mentioned earlier, has walked 5 times this year. He likes to swing the bat. Why not swing it? But now 7 straight balls.
Well, that's the thing. If you're Brad Mills, contemplating whether to give a guy green light or not, how disciplined a hitter is he? Really chase a bad ball to turn him loose. Some guys on 3-0 feel compelled to swing when they get the green light.
Brewers are in a peck of trouble now with the bases loaded, nobody out, leading 2-0. Back walks by Lowe, and Ken Maka is out to make a double switch. It would appear the way he's approaching the home plate umpire. Yes, Carlos Gomez is coming off the bench and running out to center field to replace Jim Edmonds. So he'll go into the 9th spot in the order. What a disappointment for Cameron Lowe. He comes out of the bullpen, throws 8 straight balls. Now he's out of the game. Not only that, but he could be the losing pitcher.
Yeah, it's disappointing for him. How about Randy Wolf getting whacked with the comeback? On the line and is in serious jeopardy right now.
2-0 Milwaukee, and the pitching change takes us to a break. Back in a moment. nobody out. Time for Chevy at the ballpark. We'd like to recognize Ron Kraft Chevrolet for their support of Barbers Hill Little League. For more information on Chevy's commitment to youth baseball, visit ChevyTexasBaseball.com. Lefty reliever Zach Braddock has come into this game, warming up now with Ryan Braun there in the outfield, and there's Carlos Gomez, who has joined that trio in center field. Gomez coming in for Jim Edmonds. Gomez batting ninth. And the pitcher Braddock in the spot of Jim Edmonds in the sixth spot in the order. He's 1-1. His ERA 3.48. Jason Michaels is pinch hitting for Brett Wallace with this bases loaded opportunity with nobody out. Jay Michaels started the last two games.
Yeah, really had great swings last night. He's been in a nice roll lately. So, and Brad Mills playing the percentages here. He's sitting the youngster down who swings to the left side in favor of Jason Michaels. 340 lifetime hitter with the bases. Juice Braddock's been awfully tough on left-handed hitters this year. They're hitting just 214 against him.
Michaels looks at it. And it's 2-0. We have 10 straight balls thrown by Milwaukee pitchers in the inning. J-Mac 2 for 3 with an RBI last night. 3 for 6 with a homer and 2 runs batted in this series in back-to-back starts. Turn it loose. Deep drive left field. Braun is back. Runner tagging at third, and Braun watches it go. A grand slam for the pinch hitter Jason Michaels.
Man, is he on a roll. My goodness.
It's his second pinch homer of the year, and he now has 9 pinch hit RBIs. Home run number 7 for J-Mike, and the Astros get their third grand slam of the season. What a move by the skipper.
Yeah, great call by Brad Mills. Right man in the right place, and Jason Michaels delivers big time. Ken Maka kind of backed into a corner with Lowe struggling the way he was. Had to go to the bullpen, brought his lefty in. Had to know that there was a good chance Mills was going to counter with Michaels, who's just had one good at-bat after another lately. And he's got him dancing in the Crawford boxes.
Fourth career slam, his second slam as a pinch hitter. Tremendous swing of the bat by Michaels. Pedro Feliz out to the on-deck circle. There's a foul ball by Quintero.
Exactly what we were talking about earlier when CJ was up there. You've got a dangerous hitter and a hitter's count. Even though the pitcher's wild, you got to turn him loose. At the bottom of the order coming up. 2-0 fastball.
That's the Astros' third pinch home run of the season. Michaels has provided 2 of those. Ken Maka looking forlorn now that this game is turned around.
That's the first strike that either Lowe or Braddock had thrown. And it ends up in the seats. They would probably argue, see, Skip, we were smart not throwing it over.
Yeah. Quintero 0 for 2. Feliz getting ready to pinch hit for Wright.
Leslie Wright now with a chance to be a winner. And Randy Wolf, tough blow for him.
Yes, it was. And it may be serious from the looks of that injury. Hopefully he'll not miss any time, but it did not look very good. Wolf in 6 innings allowed 6 hits, 1 run. He had no walks and 4 strikeouts. He has really pitched well in his career in this ballpark. 6-2 lifetime, a 3.23 ERA coming into this game, but this one now has gotten away from him as far as the win column goes.
Jason now 19 out of his last 54 with 5 home runs. And a lot of those in the pinch. Very impressive work.
Out of the way. Todd Coffey's warming up. It's 2-2. It's not that easy to do. He got his pitch on a 2-0 count.
Just the umpire got whacked now. Kataris flipped by that foul tip. He's in a world of hurt.
Michaels continues that trend of getting extra base hits. Since the beginning of last year, more than half his hits have gone for extra bases. And it's the right hand and wrist being examined on Kataris.
We've talked about it a lot with bench players, how important it is to make sure they get the occasional start. And Jason had back-to-back starts. Coming off the bench today, those at-bats paying off big time.
There's the reaction from this crowd of 27,964. Could be the 5th straight win for the Astros. They've not had a 5-game winning streak in a couple of years. 2 balls, 2 strikes. They've won 4 in a row 8 times since their last 5-game winning streak in 08. 2-2 to Quintero. And it's a full count to Q. Cameron Lowe did not retire a batter, did not give up a hit, but allowed 2 runs on 2 walks. As of right now, he's on the hook for the loss in this game. Quintero to left with a liner. Ryan Braun in with a running catch. 1 out. And Wesley Wright leaves for the pinch hitter, Pedro Feliz. Wright with an excellent day. 7 innings of 4-hit, 2-run baseball, walking 1 and fanning 6.
Yeah, really an outstanding performance by Wesley, continuing this great run of starting pitching for the Astros.
Feliz 1 for 7 on this homestand. Braddock delivers ball 1 to him.
Really like the way Wesley came back after that 6th inning, the inning where he gave up the 2 runs. Came out, boom, 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 3 up, 3 down. You don't want to face the Astros with the bases loaded on August 1st in an even year.
Wow. Mark Loretta on August 1st, 08. The last pinch hit grand slam by an Astro, and now 2 years later to the day, Jason Michaels connects.
Somebody's been doing some digging down in the truck.
1-1 to Feliz. And he cranks one a long way to left center field. Ryan Braun back to watch the flight of it. It goes to the bullpen wall. And Feliz has a pinch double. Great day for pinch hitters. Pedro now 2 for 14 as a pinch hitter.
Well, Braddock's got a good fastball. This one down around the knees, and Pedro just reaches down and lifts it into left center field.
That's hit number 8 for the Astros. Michael Bourne got a single in the 6th inning. He's 1 for 3.
Braddock kid's got a good arm. He's not fooling anybody today. Home run, line drive, double. He's got a plus fastball, hard-breaking pitch, just 22 years of age.
Bourne takes ball 1. Braddock's from Mount Holly, New Jersey. 18th round pick in 05. Faced the Astros 3 times previously, with not allowing a run in those 3 games. 2-0. This is blown save number 15 of the year for the Milwaukee bullpen. Two balls and a strike. And today would give the Astros their best homestand of the year at 6-3. And if they win it, they'll be only 3 games below 500 at home this season. It's been a constant struggle for them ever since starting the year. 0-6 in that first homestand. It's 2-2 to Michael Bourne with Sanchez on deck. The Detroit's batting in the top of the ninth at Boston and has scored twice, trails 3-2. The runner at second had nobody out. Jonathan Papelbon in the game. Bourne fouls it.
Braddock being clocked at 92, 93 miles an hour here today. But this time in Milwaukee, he had a little more giddy up on his fastball. That's the nature of relief work. Sometimes you go out there and the ball's just jumping out of your hands. On other days, you feel like you have to muscle at the home plate.
Bourne whiffs. 2 outs. But Sanchez will be the 8th man to bat in the inning. Ken Maka has made the move to the bullpen. He wants to respond with a right-hander. Braddock will be leaving. Astros leading at 4-2, but Maka will have Gomez, Weeks, and Hart due up in the 8th inning as he takes the ball from Braddock. Astros about hit the Brewers 8-4 in this ball game. 4-2 Houston. Back in a moment. Friday night, Brad Mills had talked about how Jason needed to play some in order to keep him sharper for the pinch hitting appearances. We just saw immediate results of those 2 starts the last couple of nights.
Well, it keeps winning like this. We'll find its way in the starting lineup more often because they'll give you your best chance to win games.
Yeah.
Have him in the lineup. Big Todd Coffey completed his sprint in from the bullpen and then his warm-up pitches, so he's ready to rock and roll for the 46th time this year. Couple of wins, couple of losses, 4.43 the ERA.
Coffey wouldn't normally be the first choice for most people on a day like this. Temperature about 100. He's the 3rd choice out of the bullpen for Ken Maka, and he faces Sanchez, who's 1 for 3.
A little iced coffee would be good.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Strike 1. Arizona's piling on the Mets. It's 14-1 D-backs, top of the 9th inning. Keppinger on deck.
In Milwaukee, they keep a clock on the scoreboard. When Todd comes into the game, they call it coffee time. They track his speed from the bullpen to the mound.
Well, we'll get to see that next weekend if he comes in. Todd, 29 years old, was with the Cincinnati Reds until last year. Milwaukee used him a lot last year. 78 times. 1-2.
He throws that two-seam fastball that just keeps boring in on a right-handed hitter. He's been at bat for 25 minutes.
Wow.
Plus this inning. Time of possession will kill him.
After an exchange of punts, we now advance to the 20-yard line. And a swing and a miss by Sanchez ends the 7th inning. But the Astros come up with a 4-run frame on 3 hits. They leave a man. The J-Mike grand slam turns this game around. 4-2 Houston. Make it a 5-game winning streak going on the road to St. Louis after this one, and they make a couple of changes. Pedro Feliz, after getting the pinch double, stays in the 9th spot to play first base. Jason Michaels pinch hit for the first baseman Brad Wallace and delivered the grand slam. Now it's Wilton Lopez in that number 7 spot in the order rather, and he's 3-0 with a 3.76 ERA.
Outstanding work by Wesley Wright today. So Wesley yields to Wilton. Looking for a W.
Well, you got the W's going. Yeah. That's the theme.
Wesley and Wolf, Wesley White and Wandy Wolf, and now Wilton Lopez
and Wiki Weeks. And he bunts and fouls it. No, it's Gomez actually. Strike one. Weeks is on deck. Gomez at 229 has 5 homers, 22 runs batted in. We just had to try to stay with that theme. That Elmer Fudd commercial.
Yeah,
that's a beauty.
Wiki Weeks. Baba Wawa.
Yeah. No balls, 2 strikes to Gomez. Gomez just came off a 3-for-20 performance on a homestand. He's 0-for-6 in this series. 2-for-26 against the Astros. One of those numbers worth writing home about. And he's 0-2 in the count against Lopez.
Defensive swing there. He has struck out 5 times in the first 2 games of this series. Twice in the Friday night game last night. He punched out 3 times in 3 trips.
Lopez sails one high. It's 1-2 for Wilton. Detroit just put a 3 spot up at Boston to tie the game 3-3. Bottom of the 9th coming now. Lopez gets a strikeout. That's number 7 for Astros pitchers.
Gomez just looks lost at home plate. Took one shot upstairs with a 95-mile-an-hour heater, and then back down with an off-speed pitch. And Gomez really pulling off the ball.
Astros have loved this homestand in this ballpark. It would be a 6-3 homestand if they get this one. One out, and it's Ricky Weeks who's 0 for 3. Lance Berkman just bounced into a double play for the Yankees. They trail 3-0 in Tampa Bay in the top of the 8th inning. Earlier, Lance got a hit in the game. There's strike one. James Shields doing a number on the Yankees for the Rays, and Tampa Bay would pull to 1 game behind New York with a win today. Chad Qualls in the game right now for the Rays. Reunited with his former Astros pitching coach Jim Hickey. No balls, 2 strikes. Brad Lidge gave it up last night in that Washington game, and Ryan Zimmerman, long ball to center field.
Yeah, having another rough year. Phillies might have to make an adjustment there.
They're tied 4-4 now. Washington batting bottom of the 8th inning. Ryan Madsen in the game. Adam Dunn hit his 25th earlier for the Washington Nationals. 1-2. White Sox lead Oakland 4-1. They've played 8 in Chicago. White Sox with a half-game lead over Minnesota. In St. Louis 6, Pittsburgh 1. They're in the bottom of the 7th at St. Louis. Albert Pujols hit his 25th. For the Cardinals. He's heating up again now.
Yes, he did.
Strikeout number 2 for Lopez. What a big strikeout weekend for the Astros pitchers.
Well, we talked about the lefties getting these right-handed hitting Brewers to chase the high fastball. Lopez kind of going that direction too. Looked like they were trying to go down and away, but he's just airing out that 95-mile-an-hour heater up. That's not really his game, but he's feeling pretty chipper out there today.
Yeah. Corey Hart hit a 2-run homer in the 6th off Wesley Wright. That made it 2-0 Milwaukee. There's strike 1. The Astros pitchers, Rodriguez, Burdak, Figueroa, combined strikeout 11 last night. And it was Happ and the bullpen with 9 strikeouts Friday night of the Brewers. This fly ball heads for Keppinger. In the 8th, it's Lopez getting the Brewers 1-2-3, 4-2 Astros. Done a nice number on Milwaukee, coming from behind today to take the 4-2 lead. Now still some work to do with Brandon Lyon warming up in the bullpen. Wilson Lopez just worked a 1-2-3-8.
Maybe Matt Lindstrom barking a little bit, because normally Brandon Lyon would have the 8th, Lindstrom would have the 9th in a game like this, but Wilson worked the 8th, and now Brandon Lyon warming up. Brad Mills is going to have to make a decision. I'd be tempted to run Lopez back out there.
Yeah, could happen too. Bottom of the 8th inning, and that might decide the choice for the next frame, as it's Keppinger, Pence, and Lee. If the Astros add to this lead, take it out of the realm of a save. Perhaps Lopez would be the easier choice for the night. Keppinger's 1 for 3, a triple. Colorado leads the Cubs 6-1 after 3. There's strike 1. Kansas City over Baltimore 5-3. They've played 6, and Alex Gordon hit his 3rd homer for the Royals. Luke Scott, number 18 for the Orioles. Buck Showalter getting ready to take over as their skipper Tuesday. 1 ball, 1 strike. Twins are blanking Seattle 4-0 after 8. Reliever Matt Guerrero in the game now. We'll see who started that one as the Twins try to pull ever closer to the White Sox, trailing by only a half game. Strike makes it 1-2 to Keppinger.
Ariano today for Minnesota.
Oh, okay. It'll be an interesting race to follow the next couple of months. Fouled away by Keppinger, a 1 ball, 2 strike count.
That's a good 2 strike approach there by Keppinger. A quiet body, just using the hands.
That's what he's talking about, using the hands. 8 hits for the Astros, 4 for the Brewers today. It's out into center field. Gomez waiting. 1 down for Coffey. Braddock at 2/3 of an inning allowed 2 hits, 1 run with no walks, 1 strikeout.
That's why I have this stuff with Coffey. It's amazing the power of suggestion. I'm sitting here talking about coffee. I went in the press lounge in between innings to get something to drink. I never go get coffee. 8th inning of the day game.
Just one of those frigid winter days.
It's on my mind. Big fella came in. I'm going to have a cup of coffee.
Hunter Pence started all the problems for the Brewers with a line drive off Randy Wolf's left hand or wrist in the 7th inning, and that led to Wolf's exit from the game. Hunter 1 for 3 in this one. He'll take an 8-game hitting streak to St. Louis now. Then Wolf came out. Cameron Lowe came in and walked Lee and Johnson, each on 4 pitches. Pinch hitter Michaels on a 2-0 offering hit a grand slam. After 10 straight balls, Michaels really did some damage with that 1 swing of the bat. 1 ball, 1 strike.
10 straight balls and a 2-0 fastball over the heart of the plate generally spells trouble.
Hunter drives one to right center field. A long run for Gomez. Gomez going for it, but it's extra bases off the wall. Pence is stretching it out to 3rd. Ricky Weeks for the relay. A triple, and the throw is launched down a play, and he'll score. That makes it 5-2. Ricky Weeks just whirled and fired, and that ball left the field of play. So Hunter Pence gets a triple, and he scores on the throwing error by Weeks to make it 5-2.
For those little league home runs, hit it and keep on running. Well, the first thing they did is they made a mistake trying to go away and left it right over the heart of the plate. Hunter gave it a merry ride to right center. Gomez to Weeks. He spins and just whirls one. Coffey should have been a little bit deeper backing up. He's way too close to 3rd base there. That doesn't do you any good. You got to go all the way to the dugout and position yourself to back up the base. So that's partly on him as well.
Now Carlos Lee with a bouncer. Escobar. 2 outs.
Insurance run is handy, and Chris Johnson now with an opportunity to keep his hitting streak alive.
Oh, yeah.
Todd Coffey there, when you're backing up a base as a pitcher, you're taught to go all the way to the fence. It doesn't do you any good to be 5 feet behind the 3rd baseman when you're backing up 3rd base.
Weeks got a short hop throw, and he just spun and flung it. Johnson Hit a ball in the hole at shortstop. Escobar made a marvelous play to get him. Then he lined to third. Then he walked. Jason Bourgeois on deck. Slider is good for strike one. Could you spot you up next for the Astros?
He's got the two-seamer I talked about that runs in on the right. And then he throws that good tight slider moving away. And that's what makes him tough. When he has command of those two pitches, just don't know which way to go. Looking away and he comes in.
Broken bat roller fielded by McGee. And it looks like the end of a hitting streak. Shards of the bat flying all over. It's 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error. We move to the 9th inning with a score 5-2 Houston. By your Texas Ford dealers and the 2010 F-150, and by the Progressive Insurance Group. There's a good sounding Dixieland band right there. Jason Bourgeois takes over in left field. And we're joined his buddy Michael Bourne in the outfield for the top of the 9th inning. Carlos Lee leaves the game going 1-for-3 with a walk, scoring a run. Meanwhile, in a safe situation, it's Brandon Lyon, and he's 6-4 with 17 holds with a 3.55 ERA.
Apparently Matt Lindstrom not available this afternoon. So Brandon Lyon gets an opportunity to close this one out, put Wesley Wright in the winner's column for the first time this year. He has to deal with the Prince, and then Ryan Braun and Casey McGee.
Lyon has 1 save in 2 opportunities this season. His save came at Colorado on June 10th, then a 5-4 Astros win. Got a blown save in a setup situation here against the Phillies the first week of the season. Prince Fielder, the batter. That one cut in on him, and he started to go for it. Then he lost his balance, and he gets rung up for swinging. Strike 1. Fielder is 1-for-3.
Brandon had 26 saves for the Diamondbacks back in 2008.
No balls, 2 strikes. Wilton Lopez worked a quick 8th inning with 2 strikeouts, giving up no hits. Lyon will turn 31 in another 9 days. Brandon from Salt Lake City, Utah. Hit 65 times for Detroit last year, and he's been a busy guy in the Astros bullpen this year as well. Brewer swings at it, and it's a foul ball, keeping the count at 0-2. 48 appearances for Brandon Lyon this season, tops on the Astros. Our fan of the game is not leaving yet to go back to Austin. But he is hoarse.
On the edge of the seat, man, he's ready to go.
Fielder grounds, and Keppinger makes a good play to his left. 1 out.
Brandon Lyon on the mound, you're going to have to beat him. He's rarely going to beat himself. Doesn't walk many, and he's done a great job keeping the ball in the ballpark this year. He's allowed just one home run. And, it's not like he's a sinker baller, gets one ground ball after another. But they have not been able to leave the yard on him, except for just that one time.
Ryan Braun has a hit and a walk in this game. Now Lyon has pitched scoreless ball in each of his last 4 appearances, covering 5 innings. Breaks out the curve, and that works for strike 1 on Braun. The Angels lead Texas 2-0. They're in the bottom of the 4th in Anaheim with Cliff Lee on the mound, and the Rangers getting shut out again. Crazy how that's worked. 1 ball, 1 strike. Not to worry for Rangers fans. They have an 8.5 game lead over Oakland and 9 over the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Cleveland beat Toronto 5-4. Gomez the winner. Litch lost it. Chris Perez got his 12th save. 2 balls and a strike. Boston scored in the bottom of the 9th inning to clip Detroit 4-3. Papelbon got the win, beating Thomas. Foul ball makes it 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tomorrow night at 7:15, it's Brett Myers and Jake Westbrook in St. Louis. We'll be on the air at 6:30 with Astros Live. Plenty to talk about on that show tomorrow night at 6:30. Where the Astros have been playing lately.
Cardinals in a dogfight with the Reds for first place in the division. Reds winners this afternoon beat Atlanta 2-1. So the Reds 2 out of 3 in that series from the Braves. And the Cardinals in pretty good shape with a 6-1 lead over the Pirates late.
Win today would give the Astros their 4th series sweep of the season and their first against the Brewers since the 2008 season. Little chop goes to first. Pedro Feliz takes it. Braun retired. 2 down for Lyon. And Wesley Wright an out away from getting his first major league win as a starter. Certainly deserves it with his work today. Joe Inglet, a left-handed hitter, comes out to the on-deck circle. The batter is McGee. McGee's 0 for 3. And if the Astros nail it down, it's a season-high 5-game win streak. Their longest since they won 6 in a row in September of 2008. Ball 1 for Lyon. That's a nice thing about having Lyon set up with Lindstrom, the closer. If Lindstrom does need a day off, as you talked about Lyon having been a former closer, it's not putting him too far out of place to ask him to close.
No, because, if you think back to spring training, over the winter, Brandon Lyon was probably the front runner to be the closer. Then he had some injury problems, got a little bit of a late start. Matt Lindstrom, seized that job. Brandon has settled in nicely as a setup guy.
1 and 2. You see that shot of Jason Michaels. You understand how quickly things can happen in a baseball game. He's on the bench until the 7th inning. He comes up with the bases loaded, nobody out. It's a pinch hit grand slam and then sits for the rest of the game. And makes them very happy.
1 swing of the bat.
2-2 the count.
Yeah, it's such a unique position. The everyday players, the guys in the starting lineup, they're probably only going to get 4 trips to the plate. So you come off the bench, you get your 1 shot. You come off the bench in basketball, you're going to be out there for a few minutes with a chance to contribute. Pinch hitter, it's that 1 moment.
Amazing. That of all the possible outcomes of an at-bat is at the very top of the charts. a grand slam and one to put your team ahead in the late innings. Be potentially the game winner. That is the best possible way to go to the plate and come away.
Yeah, I guess the only thing that would make it better is if you do it in the bottom of the ninth.
Yeah.
But then you get beat up. You have to pay the price. Teammates maul you at home plate. This is even better.
Self-preservation to J. Mike. Now 3-2. White Sox beat Oakland 4-1. Gavin Floyd going to 7-8. He beat Gio Gonzalez, who's 9-7. Bobby Jenks got his 22nd save. Well, these fans have really seen some good baseball in this homestand. Fly ball right field. Hunter Pence backing on it. And that's the way it ends with a 6-3 homestand for the Astros. A sweep of the Brewers. A 5-game winning streak going on to St. Louis. Lyon getting save number 2 of the year. Right to winner 1-1. Jason Michaels, a pinch hit, game winning 7th inning grand slam. Final score, Astros